On the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, some people may find themselves needing disaster assistance for the first time. This includes Disaster Supplemental Nutrition Assistance, or DSNAP. Joining us now is Department of Children and Family Services Assistant Secretary for Family Support, Shavana Howard, with those details. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
We know that this application process kicks off on Monday, so we wanted to speak with you ahead of time to make sure that everyone understands if they're eligible or not and how they can apply. So let's start with eligibility. Who is eligible for DSNAP?
Individuals are eligible for DSNAP if they're not on SNAP benefits, if they were impacted by the disaster and need help replacing food or lost income. We look at, it is a means-tested program. We do look at net income, available resources, as well as disaster expenses in order to determine eligibility. And
is there a specific income limit?
There's not a specific income limit, and it's mostly just because we realize that everybody's impacted by a disaster a little bit differently. Like I said, we look at your net income over a 30-day period. We look at your available resources that you actually have access to, and then we look at your expenses that you've incurred because of the disaster in order to determine eligibility.
And so should anyone who lost power and had to throw out food during the storm apply for DSNAP?
Yeah, so if you lost power and you don't have available resources to support you and your family to replace or supplement your food, then yes, you should apply for DSNAP.
And we know that this has been approved for 25 parishes in our area. You guys, I saw online, have an application schedule. So you have certain parishes that should apply on certain dates.
That is correct. We will be operating in 3 phases. It's a virtual DSNAP, so everything is done over the phone. We're trying to make it as convenient as possible. We start serving clients at 7:30 a.m. Monday morning, the 20th, through Saturday, the 25th. And our hours are 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we have 700 staff that are going to be available to take calls in order to help the people who need the services.
And then I saw on your website you also had some things that folks should do before they call. Can you kind of take us through some of those steps?
Of course. We always ask that everybody pre-register for DSNAP. It helps make the process a little bit easier. It also helps to speed up the interview process when you're actually applying. And it also allows us to send you some targeted messages and alerts to remind you of when your last name is being able to call, when you're able to call in and apply for an interview for DSNAP. We also send messages in case the call volume is low and we open it up to everyone. So there's a lot of benefits to doing the pre-registration process. Additionally, we're asking people to register for LA Wallet. LA Wallet will allow us to verify identity and residency, which will help speed up the process without you sending in that verification. And then, of course, just make sure you have your income verifications, you have your resource verifications, and any disaster-related expenses to help make the process a little bit easier.
Yeah, all very helpful so that folks can get through this process as quickly as possible. And with that in mind, that 25 parishes have been approved for this, and with those income requirements and other things, do you have a sense of how many people you guys will be able to help through this program?
Oh, you know, I'll tell you, it's really hard, but we are guesstimating about 185,000 people will be calling to apply. Like I said, we've been operating a virtual DSNAP since Hurricane Laura last year, in which we first tested the waters on our virtual process. And it started off a little rough, but it was very successful. Our average wait time was less than 1 minute at that time.
Wow. However,
this is a much higher call volume that we're anticipating, so we're really hoping that we can keep the wait time under 10 minutes. Yeah. But we have a lot of staff who will be available to help make this process as easy as we can.
All right, we hope it is easy for those folks who need this help. Shavana Howard, thank you so much for joining us to break down that process.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.